Ooh, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing fantastic as always. We are continuing with our nighttime aquarium highlight series we have going here with the purple dumbo ear red-tailed guppy. Now, this is probably one of our most underrated guppies simply because we've never had it in a tank to film before. We've only had them in their pond, which they've been doing absolutely fantastic in. So we went ahead and put some of these in a 29-gallon aquarium, pretty much the same as the red mosaic aquarium as far as the specs go, to be able to film them and kind of show them off a little bit better because they deserve it, being one of our nicest guppies. So one of the main differences that we're going to be able to see here is instead of hornwort floating, we have pearlweed. So, and that's guppy grass. So we have pearlweed and guppy grass instead of hornwort. Now, our rooted plant of choice is still the Taiwan lily for this tank. They were just planted as well. So we will see those here in a few minutes. And we also have some Rotala rotundifolia strands planted around in there randomly. Those will probably come out at some point. Now this tank is still getting established, so we do have some algae going on in here we're fighting back. So that's what the hairy green stuff is. That is not there on purpose. As the plants grow and get larger and populate the tank's empty space, they will absorb more of the nutrients that the algae uses to grow as well. Hopefully they will be more efficient and effective at absorbing that waste nutrients and eliminate it through the production of the algae that way. That is essentially the goal of doing the live plants, as well as the aesthetic pleasing factor is it does actually keep your water clean. So you don't need to do as many water changes or have as intense filtration because you're filtering it with plants. That's the idea there. And you know it's balanced when you don't have to do a lot of water changes and you don't have algae growth or any kind of outbreak of disease or anything like that that's caused from bacteria. So that's the overall goal of the plants. Now, the purple dumbo ear red tail guppy is amazing because it does have a lot of vivid color, which is sometimes hard to find the really solid red and purple, especially the purple. Sometimes it's more of a blue or something like that, and the reds are sometimes more orange, but they can have a little bit of orange in the red, so it's more of an orange than red, but the purple is quite striking. It is definitely a solid purple color when the light hits their scales. And that is on the body a little bit. They can have some red on the body too, but their body is mostly purple with a red top fin and tail. Now you'll see some cories swimming around in the background and throughout the shots. These are peppered corydoras. They are hanging out. Some of them are smaller, some of them are larger. They're just kind of around helping clean. There might be a few shrimp in this tank as well. I'm not positive on that. They kind of are everywhere. Now, we always try to do floating plants because that provides cover for our fry. It provides cover and line of sight for the adult fish to break line of sight of each other in case they are being chased by another fish for breeding purposes or just male aggression or whatever it may be. And the third reason we always like floating plants is it will actually reduce the amount of light going towards the rooted plants, which makes them stretch for light and grow. So that is another effect. So sometimes you want that, sometimes you don't. Depends what you have planted. As with all of our outside tanks, this aquarium does not normally have a light. This is just for video purposes, for key lighting. It is running a sponge filter that's rated for actually a 60-gallon, even though this is a 29 or 30-gallon tank. And it's also running a hang-on back filter in this particular tank. There's no airstone, and this tank is receiving CO2 at the moment, so that is something to note. The substrate is just white sand, I believe. I don't think there's anything special about the substrate. It's not nutrient enriched or anything like that. We are not using any fertilizers or root tabs in this tank. That's something important to note. The light being used for the filming is a Higer light, and this tank is not receiving any kind of heating or anything like that. We are cooling it with a USB fan at the moment. Now, the pond they're in is laid out the exact same way, except for there is no hang-on back filter. There's only a sponge filter. So the only differences in the setup is really just there's more lighting in the aquarium and extra filtration. Actually, much more filtration in the aquarium than the pond. That's about it for the setup and what we have going on for this aquarium and fish. So I want to just go ahead and stop talking so we can focus on what makes this one of our nicest guppies and deserving of its own 29-gallon show tank.
Pork Cup did not approve. He's like, who's wandering around? Oh, you're fine.